Hey everybody, this is Jasmine here. I wanted to share with you guys something today that has kind of shed light on things that have happened in my life, and that is the mind-gut connection. There is actually a connection between your mind and your intestines, and therefore there is a connection between the health of the two. So if one or both have things going on, it is probably because of the connection. I have a little bit of a presentation for you, so I hope that you stay with me because this is super important, and it's also quite life-changing, at least for me and for anyone who has any kind of stomach thing going on. So here it is, the brain-gut connection. And there is a link between anxiety and depression and intestinal health. So if you think about it, you have two nervous systems. You have your central nervous system, which is your spine and your brain, and they're connected, and we know about those, right, from health class. But there's also a second nervous system, which most people don't know about, and it's called the enteric nervous system. And basically it consists of the vagus nerve. So if you look in this picture right here, this girl has this orange line running down all the way from her head into her stomach and her intestines. That thing's there, it's real, it's in your body too. And if you think about it, your brain needs a way to communicate to your stomach when you're hungry, when you're full, things like that. But the communication is not just one way, it goes both ways. So your brain communicates to your stomach, but your stomach also communicates to your brain. Okay, which makes sense. But the stomach is actually known as the second brain for the reason that it's kind of like, in a way, your stomach can feel based on what you're thinking. Your stomach can feel based on what you're thinking. So if you think about butterflies in your stomach when you're nervous or anxious, your stomach is reacting to how you feel based on the thoughts in your head. This is a very real thing. They're definitely connected. And why it's called the second brain is also because 80 to 90% of the serotonin is produced in the gut. Now, your serotonin is like your happy feelings, right? And if you have too much serotonin or too little serotonin, that's when you get bad bowel movements like diarrhea or constipation. So that gut, feeling those emotions based on the serotonin that's produced in the gut, gives you poor intestinal health. Therefore, if we're not finding ways to be happy, to feel happy, to live happy lives, to live healthy lives, our stomach isn't going to feel great as well. And, other way around, gut health affects happiness. If you're feeling crappy all the time, pun intended, then you're not going to be happy. It's like this very cyclical thing that we can often explain. I always explain it as, I was stressed out, so my stomach got worse. And when my stomach started to feel sick, I got more stressed out. It was like this cycle, but this cycle is actually a real thing connected by the vagus nerve, which connects your brain and your stomach. Pretty enlightening, right? Now, thinking about this gut health. So how does the gut stay healthy so that we can be happy people? There's a balance of good bacteria and bad bacteria. You probably know this. What destroys the good bacteria? Antibiotics. If you take antibiotics, you need to get yourself, because sometimes we have to take antibiotics, right? Sometimes the natural therapies, even if we're going all natural, they don't work out. So if you have to take antibiotics, you get yourself probiotics and prebiotics. And I'm talking about more than Shakeology. You need to go get yourself 10 strains of probiotics, because what antibiotics do is they destroy all the bacteria. They destroy the bad ones, which is, that's what we want, but they also destroy the good ones, which means your gut is coming back from ground zero, from nothing. So you need to go and give your body everything, every kind of chance it can have to come back healthy quickly, and go get some prebiotics and probiotics. That's one. Poor diet. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later. Also, sugar is not good for your gut. It's a processed food. It's not meant for our body. And stress. Just like stress is bad for everything, very bad for your gut too, especially when you think about the connection there between the mind and the body. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I skip something? Oh, yeah. Shakeology. Cough, cough. If you think about it, what Shakeology does for your body is it comes in with those prebiotics and those probiotics. It takes out from all of those little wrinkly places, it takes out all of that processed and bad foods. Even if you have a cheat meal, that's the stuff that is cleaning that out. So when you then drink the superfoods and the phytonutrients and the things that are helping you get that immune support, helping boost your energy, helping you feel good, those things that are setting us apart from what we're doing for our body from other people who just take vitamins, because you are doing more for your body when you are drinking Shakeology than just taking vitamins. Trust me, this is the most nutrient-dense stuff out there. When you are doing that, your intestines can actually absorb it because the prebiotics and the probiotics have already cleaned your system out. Do you see? So prebiotics, probiotics, they clean that system out. Then you get those superfoods. You can actually absorb them because your intestinal health is so much stronger, and then you feel the effects. That's why day 4, day 5, a lot of people feel crazy energy and like they feel good like they've never felt in a really long time. It's because of the prebiotics and probiotics. This is huge, guys. Huge stuff. Okay, so again, there are 2 brains and the emotions affect both. If you have anxiety, okay, I am a person who suffers more from anxiety in my mental health than anything else. You have IBS symptoms. But if you have depression, you are generally going to have constipation. Why that is because you are turning your anger towards something inward, and then that anger, when it gets bottled up, it turns into depression. And when you hold it inside of you, just like think about that. Everything's kind of getting harder and more tense and more tight. That's where you're going to have constipation. So thus we are given the epidemic that is anxiety and depression, and it all relates to what you put in your body. It all relates to your gut health, because if you're having trouble with your gut, it's sending that message straight back up to the vagus nerve, and then you're going to have problems with your anxiety and your depression and many other things, like schizophrenia even has been shown to like be very affected by gut health. Very affected. So lots of things, everything you put in your body works with everything, but there's this special connection between mental health and your gut because of the vagus nerve. Okay, I'm gonna get off my horse soon. Okay, promise. All right. So how do we fix this, Jasmine? Like, okay, I get it. How do I fix this? Feeding good bacteria. You're doing that. You're doing that with Shakeology. Yay! Go us. Also, avoid antibiotics. Like I said, if you can, try and do something. Try and go to your tea shop. Find some kind of natural remedy. Search on the internet for what a naturopath would do. Try and find some other way to get what you need from food. From nourishing your body, from herbs and supplements, rather than going the antibiotic route when you can. I mean, obviously, sometimes you don't have a choice, but when you can, try and do that. Third, eat healthy fats. I went to a talk on this by a naturopath, and she told this story, which I'm going to shorten and condense for you. Kid comes in. Kid is what we call face affects in the education and I guess psychological world, meaning like blank face. Like this kid is 5 years old, will not color, has no emotion, will not play, like nothing. This kid is just a blank body. Okay, 5 years old. Mom asks, or the doc asks, okay, what does this diet look like? And the kid's like, well, or mom's like, well, the only thing we can really get him to eat is chicken fingers. So this kid like literally is being starved of nutrients, okay? And so the doc says, okay, here's the only thing I want you to change. I want you to try and get him some healthy fat, meaning like nuts. And he was like, try nut butter. Wasn't his favorite, but he figured, the kid might eat that. So for 2 weeks, this kid eats nut butter. I'm not sure how much. Mom comes in and is like, this is crazy. He came up to me yesterday and he asked me for a coloring page and some crayons because he wanted to color. This kid has like never done anything like this before. Okay, so your healthy fat and like getting that healthy fat is like so important for your brain. And for someone who started, the whole lifestyle reset, who did the whole thing, like that was probably the category that I skipped the most because I'm not really a huge fan of like almonds. It's like, or like any kind of like nut really. It's like not my bag. I'm not super into it. But you know, as I went through like my second and third, I was like, you know, I really should be hitting that portion. And my coaching has gotten so much better because I have such more creativity from even just like my one serving of healthy fats a day. So that will improve your mind, and therefore it will improve your gut. Okay. 4, reduce stress. Duh, right? 5, avoid inflammatory foods. This includes gluten, cow's dairy, because cow's dairy has a mucus in it that is not meant to be digested by humans at all. Like, we are not meant to drink cow's milk. I don't know who was like the first inventor of like, everybody drinks cow's milk. We are not meant for that. So if you can have almond milk, if you can have goat cheese, if you can have like some other way to get that in, or even just like limit it, that's really good for your tummy. And all sugar, we know that. You guys know that. And the last one is improve transit time with the doc. If you're finding that the transit time between when you eat and when you have a bowel movement is like really long, maybe you don't go as much as you're supposed to, you can improve that with a doctor who knows more. Okay. And my last slide, natural solutions for the mind side of this, for anxiety and depression. You can read those. A couple that I will highlight is for anxiety, addressing your fears. I've found the best way to do that is through therapy and through reading and doing my own personal development. If you're not doing personal development and you have anxiety, you need to do yourself solid, and you need to go pick out a book like you are a badass, and you need to get on board because you're worth it. Okay? You don't let anxiety rule your life. Don't let that stress rule your life. And for depression, I would like to highlight addressing the anger buried inside of you. I suffered from situational depression, and there was definitely anger rooted in there. And I didn't realize it was anger because it just seemed like so much sad. But at the root of it is definitely anger. If you're more interested in my personal story, feel free to reach out. But actually getting to why you're angry, because it's there, that's number one. And also positive affirmations. It sounds like so hippy-dippy and like so like bizarre and like weird, but I find that it helps me just like maintain a calm, assertive state of mind. And I say calm, assertive because I'm a dog mom. It's a huge part of who I am. And that's the energy that I need to maintain to be a happy person myself and also a happy dog mom. And a couple of my favorite affirmations. One is, I am brilliant, bright, and beautiful. And let's see, another one is, I inhale peace, I exhale peace, I inhale calm, I exhale calm. A lot of them are, you think of like meditation mantras. So those are really, really great. And the idea is like, if I look in the mirror one day and like I'm breaking out and I think my first thought, because get this guys, we have 700,000 thoughts a day and 95% of them are unconscious and negative. So if you can actually catch yourself in a conscious thought and like redirect it. So I look in my mirror after I take a shower and I'm like, man, like I'm not looking good today. I'm breaking out, whatever. If I can turn that and say an affirmation 5 times and like intentionally focus on it, that is literally changing your thinking, and that will change your stomach as well. So I think that's the end. No, I don't want to open that. That is like the end of my slide. Oh, no, that's not. Totally was joshing you there. I'll go over this real quick though. Whole tones. So for you music folks out there, whole tones, essentially you can go to this website. The idea behind these whole tones is that certain tones do certain things for the body, and it's like researched and proven. Like crazy example, in hospitals, they have a certain pitch, a certain tone, that is buzzing because there is a certain tone that eliminates bacteria. And so that is the tone that they use in the hospital to keep it as clean a place as possible. So that is possible. Think about the effect that certain tones can have on your body. And these tones right here, one of them, I think the first one is like opening up, and you sit and you just like listen to it and you open up. One is about like productivity. One is for positive thought. There are tons of, a bunch of different ones in there. They can help you with different parts of your life. So I highly recommend you check that out if you want a little extra oomph to get you started on just like being more mindful about your body, because clearly our mind is so like connected to our body, we don't even realize it, like biologically and just like mentally otherwise. So now that was like seriously the end of my spiel. I hope that this has helped you a little bit and given you a little bit of education into how just connected we are, and how, one, if you have anxiety and depression, there are natural solutions. There are ways out. And two, if you find that your stomach is connected in this at all, you need to get the both of them together and work on from both ends, from both the mind end and the stomach end of what we feed our bodies. So, okay, that's it. Thank you for listening if you stayed with me the whole way. And I will see you guys in the newsfeed. Bye. Okay, bye.